You've just been given an assignment and now you have to figure out what to do with it. The difference between earning an A or a C can depend on how well you have read and understand the assignment sheet. Before beginning your research, you must know what your instructor expects of you. Read the assignment guidelines carefully and especially look for the following. Do the sources need to be scholarly or peer-reviewed? How many sources are needed? Do the sources need to be published before a certain date? You may also come across terms such as internet source or print source. Clarify with your instructor what counts as an internet or a print source. For example, an internet source can mean anything that is published solely on the internet without any kind of review or editorial process. This would include blog posts and websites, but would not include articles from scholarly journals or newspapers. A print source can mean something that was published in print and also on the internet, like a scholarly journal that offers print and online subscriptions. The library likely only subscribes to the online version, so while you are finding the source on the internet, it would still count as a print source because it is also published in print. This tutorial is going to give you a set of basic assignment components to look for, as well as a few tips to help you succeed in completing an assignment without any surprises. The first step is to look for logistical information. When first reading the assignment, circle or make notes in the margin as you read. Use these notes as a checklist later. The basics are due date. This will give you an idea of how to organize your time to finish the assignment. Length. This is how long of a paper it should take to address the question, idea, topic. If it's much longer or shorter than the assignment states, you should speak to your instructor. Style. Is this a writing and citation style you've used before? Do you need to find a style manual? If not mentioned in the assignment, your syllabus may indicate which style to use for all assignments in the course. Formatting. Double-spaced or single-spaced. Margin specifics. Font size, or page numbers. Sources. Will you need to do any research and/or visit a library? Many assignments set the stage with some context or background information. In this example, the assignment begins with a brief summary of the class lecture about the endangered species status of the lesser Antillean iguana. Take a moment to read this example. Other common parts of an assignment sheet include prompts from your instructor to focus your writing and direct questions to be answered. Take a moment to read through this example. In this example, the first two questions are not intended to be directly answered in your essay. They provide a framework for the overall theme of the assignment. The third sentence, the assignment itself, is to build a well-researched and compelling argument. This indicates that the essay must be argumentative and use quality sources. If you can't easily give a basic description of the task, you should revisit the assignment sheet and then seek out your instructor for clarification. As a rule of thumb, after you first read an assignment sheet, ask yourself to fill in the blanks to this prompt. The purpose of my essay is to blank in order to blank. If you apply this to our example assignment, you may say, the purpose of my essay is to build a strong and convincing argument for the best solution to save the lesser Antillean iguana in order to receive the largest amount of available conservation funds. Let's take a look at the major parts of the research and writing process. Each block represents a chunk of that process. The larger the chunk, the more time it will usually take. The smaller the chunk, the less time it will take. These are not exact proportions, but a visualization of how this process works for many people. Some parts of this process are recursive. You will move back and forth between one or more steps several times. As an example, when reflecting on your first draft, you may notice the need for an additional source to support a specific argument. You will move back to the finding sources stage to meet this need. At some point in your assignment, you will probably need evidence beyond the exploratory stage. It could be as simple as your textbook or as complex as a few dozen scholarly articles. In planning for this assignment, look closely at what types of resources you need to use: computer, software, books, database, people, or places you will need to go to use them: libraries, archives, quiet time at home. And what types of time constraints may be in place. If you do need to go to the library, check to be sure it is open at a time you can go outside of class or work. Do you know the best places to find the sources you need? You may want to speak to a librarian first for help in formulating a search strategy and identifying appropriate tools and resources for your search. Always bring your assignment sheet with you when asking for help. Ask your instructor to clarify your uncertainties or questions early on to avoid stress and rushed work later. They will thank you for this instead of turning in an incomplete or misunderstood assignment. When you get a final draft of the assignment finished, leave some time to reflect on your work. State the purpose of the assignment out loud to yourself. Did you accomplish it? This is also a good time to check with your instructor if your paper doesn't seem quite right and you need some guidance. Have more questions about deciphering your assignment or avoiding plagiarism? Be sure to contact your liaison librarian for any of those questions you may have. Happy assignment deciphering!